Howdy folks, I'm Brian,
I'm Amber.
and here's some Reddit. Our first story is titled, Will I Be a Jerk for Leaving My Job After a Manager Told Me I'm Just a Lowly Employee Who Can Be Replaced? I'm a 23-year-old female and I worked at a hotel chain for the past 3 months. On mobile, sorry for formatting. Background info. When I was hired, my front desk manager, Sarah, 56-year-old female, put in my file that I was to be trained to take over as the hotel's general manager. I confirmed that it was put in. I'm also the one who is covering night audit and the morning shift when people call in. We only have 5 front desk agents. Story, I've been with the company 3 months now. They just hired a new general manager from outside the company. I mentioned it to Sarah in passing about me being hired as the new general manager and pointed out that it was in my file when she denied it. She then proceeded to yell at me, calling me a lowly, low-life employee who can easily be replaced and among other things. I'm not going to repeat it because of how severe it was. I immediately said that this conversation is done and walked off the property. I went home, I immediately put out my resume and got an offer more than triple of my asking amount. I plan on quitting in a few days, leaving them scrambling for coverage. Will I be a jerk if I do that? Edit, I was hired for the general manager role. Thought it would be obvious by me saying that I was to be trained to take over the general manager role. I was in training since the start. Previous general manager left in September. I was told throughout October that I would officially start my role in November. That being said, I called Sarah and quit about 5 minutes ago. The reaction was immediately screaming, telling me that she doesn't accept it and I have to work tonight because nobody can cover the evening shift. I said, not my problem, and I'll be expecting my paycheck this week. I also will be sending an email to her bosses. Thank you, everyone. All right, folks, what do you think? Jerk? Not the jerk?
Not the jerk.
Well, how can, this is the reason why people are having a hard time hiring people. The easiest way to not have a employee deficit is by not letting your employees go in one way or another. And they could have prevented this good employee from just, leaving if they had kept their end of the bargain. But no, they kind of let her on and then they paid the consequences. So this is good on OP for knowing their worth as an employee and not having to not taking the nonsense of Sarah here. So yeah, anyhow, take care and good luck. Not the jerk. In fact, you should be petty and quit without notice. In fact, you should have quit on the spot when the manager was speaking to you that way. And OP replies, I'm very much a person who tries not to do something based on emotion just because it doesn't affect me, but my daughter. So that's pretty much the only reason why I didn't. OP was already being replaced anyway, so nothing to lose there. Absolutely, OP is a quote low-life employee who can be easily replaced. After all, it's fine if she quits without notice according to the manager herself. Alright, our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Kicking Out My Girlfriend? So I have a cat named Raven who's 3 years old. My girlfriend of 2 years moved in with me a few weeks ago and it was clear she didn't like my cat. You had a girlfriend of 2 years? Okay, I'm actually a little bit confused here. Your girlfriend of 2 years, who's now just moving in with you, doesn't like your cat, but she moved in with you anyways. I didn't think it was a really big deal until one day I got home and he was just gone. Not outdoors cat, so he never goes outside. He was gone for hours and I was worried sick until my buddy came to my house and returned him, saying that he found him 2 blocks from my house. I asked my girlfriend how my cat, who has never tried to go outside before, ended up that far from the house, and she admitted to kicking him out. I was furious, saying that she had no right to kick him out and told her that since she thought she had the power to kick my cat out, I wanted her out of my house by the end of the month. She cried that she had nowhere else to go and that she would have to live on the streets. I said I didn't care and told her to leave by the end of the month. My friends think that I'm being too harsh, but my cat could have died because of her and I don't want her trying anything else. Am I the jerk? Alright, OP. First off, what do you folks think? Do you think that OP was the jerk in this situation?
Not the jerk.
Amber says not the jerk. While I do appreciate OP's ex-girlfriend's point of her not having a place to go, that really isn't OP's problem at this point in time. If, they had broken up for any other reason, the OP would not have been responsible for finding a place for his ex to live. And the thing that kind of confounds me is the ex would have, I'm sure, met OP's cat in 2 years' time. So I don't know why they suddenly were like surprised that they didn't get along with the cat. So I don't know. That seems really odd to me, but I mean, I guess it's understandable. Maybe she thought that she would be able to live with the cat, or maybe she had this premeditated the whole time where she was like, yeah, I'm going to get rid of this cat. But the worst part about this is she drove the cat. She had to drove the cat or walk them a couple blocks away and just like left them there. So yeah, I mean, that's a pretty bad thing to do to an animal who's, especially an indoor animal. They, haven't ever been outside. They're lost. They don't know where to go. So I really honestly think that was a really poor choice of hers. And yeah, again, like, she had a place to live before. I mean, hopefully she has some family. I think that she can work this out. I mean, I think that that's, people sometimes have situations that don't work out, and she's gonna have to fend for herself. So yeah, anyhow, take care and good luck. Hurting animals betrays a lack of character. If she's willing to hurt your kitty, what else is she willing to do? Keep her away from your cat. She's going to hurt him, I guarantee it. Let him stay with someone else until she's gone. Alright, our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Wanting My Husband to Talk to Me at My Birthday Dinner? Such a jerk. My husband, a 58-year-old male, and I, a 48-year-old female, went out to dinner at a cute little eatery for my birthday. We've been married for 25 years, and we rarely eat out. He doesn't like spending the money for restaurant food. However, my mom knows how much I enjoy trying out new restaurants. She gave me $100 as a gift and told the Hubs that she would babysit the two of us so we could go eat out. It's a beautiful little place. We scored a patio table, and because the Hubs isn't talking, I start making up stories about people around us. He's a forensic detective, and she sells expensive candles. Just silly stuff. He's not talking. By the time our entrees show, I realize I'm essentially talking to myself and feel foolish. So I stop talking too. I've lost my appetite, so I wait for him to finish and give the waiter my card, and I'm sitting there in silence. When we were driving home, I said, I know you don't like spending money on eating out, but this was a gift from my mother for my birthday. If you were going to punish me by refusing to talk to me, I wish you would have just told me and I would have taken our daughter instead. He was offended and huffed. I have nothing to apologize for. Am I the jerk for thinking that he would be pleasant company? I've definitely learned my lesson. Edit for info, my husband goes silent and refuses to talk to me as punishment when he gets upset. I didn't realize this was about to happen until around the time the entrees were served. I guess I should have picked up more quickly, but I was excited at being out. Info 2, no, he's never said that he didn't want to go beforehand, and I didn't force him to go. Alright, folks, what do you think? Jerk? Not the jerk?
Not the jerk.
Amber says not the jerk. I think that this screams that there's counseling needed here. There's some problems in this relationship, at least from a cursory glance. And I think that there might be, even though he might not like spending money on stuff that he perceives as frivolous, hopefully he wouldn't consider therapy frivolous in this case because he has some issues that he needs to work out. And I don't know if that needs to be like a marriage counseling type of thing, and I don't know if that needs to be a one-on-one therapy for him, but he clearly has some problems here. Like, he didn't communicate with OP at all in this situation, and just, blew her off and, didn't feed into her excitement. And sometimes relationships are about give and take. And if, you know that your partner really loves doing something, then, and it's not something that you necessarily enjoy, it's a good idea to at least sacrifice a little bit for your partner here. I mean, to make them happy. That's part of the thing, is like sometimes not every situation is going to be 50-50. Sometimes it's going to be, 90-10. And that's just the way relationships are. But, you can expect the other times that there's going to be 10-90. So that's just kind of the reality, is that it sounds like her husband is just being unpleasant. He's not being a very nice person. And I think OP's right. They should have taken their daughter instead, who would have at least appreciated, having a night out or something to that effect. So, yeah, OP, I don't think that you're the jerk in this situation, but I do just see that there's something, deeper wrong here, that this is just not a normal way to react to something like this. So, yeah, anyhow, take care and good luck. Not the jerk, for his birthday, may I recommend a basic book of manners and nothing else. That was good. More like a basic book of how not to be an objective jag bag. Silent treatment is a form of abuse. Not the jerk. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm so sorry he made you feel guilty for enjoying yourself on your special day. This was a very thoughtful gift from your mom, and I hope you go out again. Treat yourself or take your daughter/mom and fully appreciate the experience. You deserve it. I also kindly suggest leaving him. Happiness and compatibility is a key to a life well lived. And OP replies, thank you. I appreciate your advice. All right, our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for walking one neighbor's dog but not the other neighbor's dog? Or more specifically, how I reacted after being pestered for literal months. So, a little context. I'm a 36-year-old male and I moved into my current house a little over 5 years ago. And my elderly neighbor, she's like 86 now, so around 81 when I started, has issues walking her 10-year-old dog, and his name is Frank. I first noticed when I was out on a run and saw her having trouble picking up after Frank, so I offered to help her out by walking him when I go out for exercise/runs or jogs in the afternoon. She gladly accepted, and we've had a pretty good relationship since then. A new neighbor moved in about 8 months ago, and she has 3 dogs. She saw me go into the elderly neighbor's house to grab Frank. I have a key since neighbor got tired of having to answer the door when I came around. She's usually either cooking or something or watching TV when I come around, and she asked what that was all about. So I told her I walk Frank every day when I go out for a jog. She then asked me if I could do the same for her 2 dogs. I said no. She asked why, and I told her that our neighbor is elderly and really can't take Frank for a walk properly, so I offered to help. You, on the other hand, are relatively young, not sure on the exact age, so you can walk your own dogs. She was upset by this, said she's a single mother and can't walk her dogs all the time when raising her kids. I told her that's too bad, but it's not really my problem. She was not okay with this. Ever since then, our new neighbor keeps asking me to walk her dogs, and I keep saying no. And again yesterday it happened. She hosted a little Halloween party for her kids, and I went out to grab Frank for a walk. She yells out, "Hey, we're kind of busy over here. Do you mind walking my dogs?" So I got really angry. Literally every time she sees me, she asks, and yell back, "How many times do I have to tell you no?" Like, woman, this is the 300th time, and it's only been 8 months. Walk your own dogs. And just continued walking Frank. Came home to a pretty aggressive letter saying that I didn't need to be a jerk and saying that I need to be more compassionate for single mothers, blah blah blah, etc. It was like a really long letter. Here's hoping she doesn't ask again. So I wanted to ask for some judgment. Am I the jerk for not walking that neighbor's dog, but still walk Frank? More specifically, am I the jerk for losing my cool for being asked again last night? Alright, OP. What do you folks think? Jerk? Not the jerk?
Not the jerk.
Amber says not the jerk. OP, I think that you could have been more diplomatic with her, but I also can understand, being harassed by this individual every single day can probably get really, really frustrating, and she's not taking no for an answer. So I can certainly understand why it would have reached a boiling point like that. And I'm surprised in some ways that it didn't happen sooner if she's been asking you every day for a year. I mean, this is a very frustrating situation, and she continues to push the boundaries here and being like, oh, please walk my dog, please walk my dog. And, you don't feel like walking her dog. I mean, and that's understandable. You're not the neighborhood dog walker. You have your own time and energy that you need to spend on doing other things. And you don't even know if Frank would get along with these other dogs, and it's not your responsibility to find that out. This isn't you, like, say her dogs are poorly behaved and one of them attacks Frank. That would be really that would be, one, your fault for, putting the two dogs together, and two, what would you even be able to do in that situation? So you don't know how these dogs are going to react around each other. So, no, I don't think that you're the jerk in this situation, though I do think you could have probably handled things a little more diplomatically. So, yeah, anyhow, take care and good luck. Not the jerk, no means no. She asked, you answered. She asked again, you answered. She publicly tried to shame you into doing something, and you stuck to your guns. And OP replies, I really wish she had just backed off after the first time she asked, and I said no. It got to the point where I was thinking of installing like a doggy door from the elderly neighbor into my yard so I can start the walk by exiting my backyard gate that places a sidewalk so I can potentially just not see my new neighbor like at all. Still kind of tempted to do that, but since I love Frank and it's kind of awkward entering the neighbor's home, she's like passed out on the couch. Not the jerk, the single mom put herself in the situation of owning a dog, being single, and having children. The old person cannot help being old. It is very straightforward. Alright folks, that's all the time we have for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, consider giving me a like, and if you didn't, consider giving me a dislike. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.